What's up, y'all? This video is how I beat child support. But before I get to that, let me tell you about my experience. This was the best experience I ever had in a courtroom. Now, when I went to court, first thing I had to go in the courtroom and sign in so that they know I was there. Go in the courtroom, sign in, the judge greeted me with a smile and a hello, how you doing? The bailiff, even the stenographer gave me a smile. They had an attorney, like a inside attorney, like the court attorney. She was nice. She was like, "Yeah, just sign in here, then wait outside." I go outside, so I sit on the bench. The case manager called me in, nice as hell. I never got a response like this. I was like, damn, is this real? But so the case manager, like, I got your file here. You're here to see the judge for modification. I have your custody order here. You have full custody of your daughter since April. She was like, so what we're gonna do? She was like, I even have your children's school records that you sent us. She's like, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna set your disbursements at 0. And I was like, okay. I wanted to smile ear to ear, but I maintained my composure. I was like, yeah, okay, all right. So she was saying how they was gonna do it. Once she finished, she turned the paperwork over to the judge. Whatever, is there anything else? I was like, yeah, I like to get back pay from when I first reported. She's like, oh yeah, it's in your file that you. As a matter of fact, she mentioned it to me. It's in your file that you wanted to get back pay. I'm like, yeah, from when I first reported I had my children. And she was like, what you do, if you want back pay, you have to ask for Trinity credit. Trinity credit, whatever the hell. But if you want back pay, ask for Trinity credit, y'all. Otherwise, they're not going to consider it. So she was like, ask the judge for Trinity credit, and he would know what you mean, and see what he say from that. All right, cool. So I goes back, sit down, goes in the courtroom. It was my turn. Lady before me go up. After her, I go up. And the judge was like, so you here for a modification? You've been having full custody of your children and all of this stuff. I'm like, yes. And so we're gonna set your disbursements at 0, and we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sign this, and I'm gonna get it out. We're gonna sign this, so I'm gonna get it out as soon as I'm finished signing it, so they can file it. I was like, that's cool. He was like, anything else? I was like, yes, I like to request Trinity credit for when I first reported I had my daughters. He was like, yes, I see you want Trinity credit. He was like, I tell you what I do. I set reimbursements. Hold up. Sorry about that. I had to knock at the door. But the judge was like, I tell you what I do. Your reimbursements, I'm going to set it from May. No, not May, from March. So I set it from March. You get reimbursed from March. So I'm going to go ahead and sign this so you can get that sent out to you as soon as possible. I was like, all right, cool. And he was like, how do it feel? I said, man, it feel good, He was like, all right, you have a nice day. And for the first time, I didn't mind that 364-mile drive back home. I was kind of like, damn, is this real? When I was walking out the court building, I'm like, is this, I beat child support? So I'm like, damn, I did this shit, right? Now, I get home, and I get this in the mail. This came yesterday, which was the 7th. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but it's a total past due amount, $228. And it's from San Joaquin County Department of Child Support Service. I just came from down there. So I called him and I was talking to the guy on the phone and I'm like, hey man, I just saw the judge on the 27th. He set my balance at 0. I don't got to pay nothing. I got full custody of my daughters. And he was like, oh yeah, okay. I see in the system that the judgment was ruled in your favor. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, so just disregard that. And I was like, why would they send this? Don't they check their records? And he was like, oh, it's automatically generated. And I'm like, okay. Is this call being recorded? He was like, yes. I was like, good, cool, because I wanted on record that this been resolved. And if my wages get garnished in any way because of this, I'm filing. What I tell him? I said, if my wages get garnished because of this, my taxes or anything, I will be getting legal representation against your department for harassment. That's what I told him. And I hung up the phone. You know, I mean, that's how they used to treat me. But anyway, my thing is this. I beat that shit. You can beat it too. Men, women, y'all can beat child support. Just follow up on whatever they send you. If the court tell you to, if the judge tell you to do something, do that. Whenever you go into a court setting, don't go in with intentions of lying. My ex did that and got caught up because once the court find out you lying to him, you lose all credibility. Now my ex went in there with some bullshit ass lie. The judge called her on it, and it was cold how he did it too. But everything worked in my favor. But what my advice would be, especially men, if you had a child with somebody or somebody suspect you of having a child with them, go to court, especially if you have a child support judgment against you. Let that judge know that you need a DNA test to determine if that child is really yours. What they gonna do, they gonna set it up to where you go take a DNA test. You go take your test, and then they gonna subpoena her to go bring the child in to get swabbed. If that child isn't yours, case drop. If she don't show up, case drop. If the child is yours, tell the judge that you would like to make an offer on what you can pay based on your income. Don't go in there trying to fix paperwork or nothing, because if it backfire on you, you asked out. Go in there and tell the judge straight up, this is what I make, show proof of it, and I could pay $75 a month. The judge might say, yeah, a lot of times they do. You know, it's just that if you go to child support court, you're going to see, every time I've been there, it was always black dudes in there making themselves look bad because they want to be a fucking deadbeat, unfit ass nigga. That shit need to stop. When all they got to do is do what the judge tell them to do. Now, go to court. If you are the father of that child, go to family court. Get some kind of custody agreement with that child and be persistent. Do what the judge tell you to do. Everything the judge tell you to do, especially if y'all live in the same damn city. I had to drive 364 miles one way to see my daughters when we was going through reunification, because that's what you're going to have to go through is reunification. 6 months of every 2 weeks, you go see your children for 4 hours a day. Every 2 weeks, one day, you go see your children 4 hours a day. I had to drive all the way down there 4 hours, then drive all the way back home 6.5 hours. And then after that, you allowed to bring them home for a weekend for another 6 months. Then a judge make the ruling on what kind of custody you're going to get depending on your progress with your children. That's why it's called reunification. But go to court. Go to court, do what the judge say, and get some kind of custody order. Get full or joint legal, not legal, but physical and sole custody. Those are the main two. Physical and sole custody are the main two. Now, any advice I could give any man or woman that's going through this, go to family court, get some kind of custody agreement. Some kind of custody agreement. And if y'all do stay far apart, do like I did. Print out the Google Maps showing the distance from your home to their home and highlight the in between mark and tell the judge you would like to add in the order that y'all meet halfway because of the strain that it put on you driving that far. And the judge will consider it like he did for me, but my ex just disobeyed the order. Oh, and another thing, if a party disobey the court order, they don't show up at that meeting spot, you call whatever local PD is in that area or local sheriff department that's in that area, make a police report for your other party violating the court order. They didn't show up. You need it in writing 3 different times. If they do it 3 different times, you get those reports, take it to court. You gonna win. Now, I'm in it on this. You can beat child support like I did. Get them off your back, man, and get your money back in your pocket instead of going to the punk ass county. And I'm out.